Hello everybody, welcome back to another summer shop update video. This week's shop update is vintage children's books. So I've got about 30 here we have to go through, so I'm going to try to be really fast so this video doesn't take forever, and you can find a link to where all of these are available on my shop prettyoldbooks.com down in the description. So let's just jump in. First I have the complete Uncle Remus, a nice vintage copy of that. Little illustrations here and there. Wonderful. The next one is called The Tunnel of Hugsy Good. This is by Eleanor Estes, who's a very popular children's book author back in the mid-century years. So this involves a tunnel. One of these books is about kind of a magical tunnel that takes you back in time. I can't remember which one it is, but this is called The Tunnel of Hugsy Good by Eleanor Estes. I tried to remind myself what all of these were about before I made this video, and I've forgotten already. But I picked all of these out for this shop update like 6 weeks ago, so it's a little rusty. Favorite stories for the children's hour. This one still has its dust jacket where you can cut out the bookmark, and it's green inside. So obviously this is just a nice little collection of stories for reading aloud. Then I have a Scholastic paperback called The First Men in the World. So these will be familiar to children who went to school in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. This is basically a history of man. Next, we have this little guy called Woolly West by E.J. Crane. This, if I remember correctly, is very hard to find, scarce book, and it's part of a series, and it's called the Points West series. And you can see this first page is loose, but this series follows a girl called Libby Lou on her adventures. So that's that. Next, we have another read aloud collection. This is called Told Under the Blue Umbrella. So this one, I believe, is read aloud stories in the here and now. And it has little illustrations in it. There's another one. Look how cute that is. Next, we have Rico, the Young Rancher. This is from the New World Neighbors series of books that introduced young readers to different places around the world, and this one is from Chile. And this is probably a former school book of some kind, social studies book. Very cute. Look at the car. Next, we have Crazy Creek. This is the magical realism book, if I recall correctly. This is the one where this little girl hops on this boat and hops on the river and gets taken back in time. It's called Crazy Creek by Evelyn Sibley Lampman. Sky Attack by Camfield Cook is a Lucky Terrell flying story. You will also see in this week's shop update that I have a set of flying stories that I'm selling as well, and they all look very similar to this. The green hardcovers. This one I'm just selling individually because it's in a slightly different set or different theme than the other ones. This one is from 1942. And then we have Hans Brinker, this nice old edition with a library binding. So here's the first page. You can see it's got, somebody did some coloring on it. This was published by Sears and Company, and this is from a school library, San Francisco Public Schools. It is from 1926. So this is why I wanted to list this book. You can see it's illustrated on every page. It's got decorative pages on every page, and they're just beautiful, aren't they? Oh, so precious. Okay, that's the first pile. Second pile starts with Jewel's Storybook. This is by Claire Louise Burnham. Very pretty cover. This is a sequel. This is about Jewel and her grandfather. I think Christian Scientist wrote this. I can't remember, but I think so. Wiser Than Winter. This is a kind of a coming-of-age teenage girl story, and facing the challenges of her first Vermont winter, teenager Kit gains maturity and self-confidence. Plus, I love this, the cover. That looks like a sturdy library binding. And this is from 1960. The author is Dorothy Pitkin. Next, The Voyages of Dr. Dolittle. This is International Illustrated Junior Library Edition. And there is the first illustration. Next, we have this very nice edition of Pinocchio. Nice antique orange edition with silver illustration on the cover. And here's the first page. Next, we have the Swiss twins. This one you can see has some damage along the spine there. You see that? But still super cute. This is by Lucy Fitch Perkins, and she wrote a series of books about twins that were meant to introduce young children to children from other parts of the world through story. So this is about 10-year-old twins that are Swiss, live in Switzerland. Next, I have a set of 3 books by Claire B. These are the Chip Hilton sports novels. There were quite a few of these. I just have these 3 right now. This one is baseball themed. This one, I believe, is football themed, and then another baseball themed one. So that's a set of 3. Then we have Flash Flood at Hollow Creek by Marjorie Paradis. I can't remember what this one is about. There's lots of creeks and rivers and stuff, and I got them all mixed up. This one is from 1963. I think this one is centered kind of on a teacher-student relationship. Oliver becomes a weatherman. How fun is that? Oliver becomes a weatherman. Everyday science stories. Look at the first page. How mid-century is that? And then here's the title page. And this is from 1953. There's another nice sciencey illustration. So cute. City Neighbor, the story of Jane Addams by Claire Ingram Judson. So this is a biography for younger readers. There's one of the pretty illustrations inside. Next, we have this antique book by James Otis, which was a pen name, Search for the Silver City. This is kind of like a travel adventure in the Yucatan, a tale of adventure in Yucatan. And it is from the 1890s. There's the first illustration. And that's a teenage boy is the protagonist of that book. This is one of the cutest books this week. It's just such a delight. I've never seen it before. It is called I Know a Lot of Things. It's by Anne and Paul Rand, and this is a school library edition in a library binding. So the first page is, I know such a lot of things. I know when I look in a mirror, what I see is me. I know a cat goes meow. A dog goes bow wow, and that is how they talk. It's so precious. I love it so much. And I've never seen it before. Okay, this is the third Read Aloud compilation. It's got some rippling there of the cover. You can see that. This one is called Told Under the Magic Umbrella. So we had the blue umbrella earlier. This is the Magic Umbrella, Modern Fanciful Stories for Young Children from 1939. Isn't that cute? And here, just opening to a random page, we have a little whale. Next, the Young Folks series, Child's Life of Columbus. So this is a children's biography of Christopher Columbus. Has an inscription date from 1923. And here is an inside page. There's that. This one is a personal favorite of mine, and it is super shabby. You see how shabby that is? Because it was well loved. It is called Tommy Learns to Drive a Tractor. And it is all about a little boy named Tommy who learns how to drive a tractor. And the illustrations are very mechanically oriented and matter of fact and show the inside of a tractor and the different components of a tractor and how to drive a tractor. Here's another page for an example. And it is just precious. I just think it's so cute. Okay, I've got a handful left to go. The Witch of Hissing Hill, another fun book that I have never heard of before. This one has lots of scribbles inside, but I hardly ever pass up a Halloween-themed children's book, vintage. There just really aren't that many of them. So here's an interior page. There's a wonderful little kitty cat. And there's the next. So cute. Oh, we have a whole bunch of little kitty cats there. So this was a weekly reader book. I don't recall, let's see, when it was published or what the copyright, 1964. This is another biography for young readers. We have George Washington by Bella Corral. And this one has some issues too. You can see that the spine is cracked right here. But none of the pages are loose. And this is from 1954. Then we have this fun children's book called What's the Matter with Carruthers, a bedtime story. And it is about Carruthers, who is a bear. And he is just extremely grumpy. And over the course of the book, his friends try to figure out why and help him. All right, I have 2 Donald Duck books. Just randomly found 2 Donald Duck books. Donald Duck Sees South America. So this is a nonfiction book for young readers, hosted by Donald, introducing us to South America, the Panama Canal, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil. Fun little color illustrations throughout. And on the pages without color illustrations, we have little black and white illustrations on the bottoms of the pages. And then Donald Duck and his nephews. So this is about Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And there's one of the inside illustrations. 2 more to go. The Mysterious Gold and Purple Box. This children's book is a picture book, for very young readers. It's a mystery. And it is about a boy who notices something in the market in Nigeria that helps him solve a mystery. And then the last one I have to share with you is this edition of Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens, illustrated by Arthur Rackham. So this is obviously by J.M. Barrie, and this is a facsimile of the 1906 edition. So this edition was published later, but is meant to be an exact replica of the 1906 edition, and the Arthur Rackham illustrations are just gorgeous. Really, really pretty. And here's another one. They're just so lovely. All right, that's that. I think there is, like I said, another set of the flying stories in this shop update. But I hope you saw something fun. I mean, children's books are the best, right? So how could we not have fun looking at all of these together? And I will be back again next week with another shop update for the summer. And I thank you for joining me. And I hope you found something to purchase and read to yourself or to somebody that you love. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.